States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joni, whenever you are ready.
Karen Tynas.
Here.
Mike Regalic.
Here.
Rob Parrish.
Here.
Lena Train.
Here. Number 4, public comments relating to agenda items, 3 minutes. Anybody? You could state your name for our clerk, please.
Bob Miller.
Oh, wait, I gotta set my timer.
I'm here tonight to speak on your agenda item, salaries, highway commissioner salary specifically. I stand here with experience of 52 years in public works. The last 3 of them have been as a public works director. I did 24 years as a highway commissioner, and I can tell you that the salary for the highway commissioner as it is today is much too low. It has not been raised up in a decent amount in quite some time, and I hope tonight that you right that wrong and bring it to where it should be. As you know, the salary is for the position and not the person. And I can tell you that Nunda Township is a huge responsibility. It's the largest township in the county. It has the most roads. Most of them have been improved. The work that's been done here has been exponentially just fantastic. Not only in grounds, but the roads that you have that are under your jurisdiction. Something to be very, very proud of. It's something that you guys can hold your head high and say, you have one of the best. And I speak from experience because I actually did a little time here. After I retired, I did a couple of years here as whatever I needed to do, kind of a part-time fill-in. And the last 6 or 7 years, I've been doing public works consulting. So as I said, I do speak from experience, and I just think that you need to get the salary up. At the very least, you need to do a cost of living increase each and every year, and that should go along with the merit increase. And certainly you don't have to bring it all up in one fell swoop, but you have 4 years to do it. And I'm really hoping that you do the right thing and bring that salary to where it should be. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to number 5. Review and approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting dated Thursday, October 10th. Motion?
Motion.
Second? Discussion, questions, comments? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, review and approval of the road district funds transfer of appropriation. It's $22,000 from road improvement to ice control for salt. Motion.
Motion. I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? When you are ready, can we get a roll call, please?
Mike Regalic.
Yes.
Rob Parrish.
Yes.
Karen Tynas.
Yes.
Lena Train.
Yes, motion carries. Number 7, township warrants for approval tonight in the amount of $33,520.29. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions, comments, discussion? None? When you are ready, Joni.
Rob Parrish.
Yes.
Karen Tynas.
Yes.
Mike Regalic.
Yep.
Lena Train.
Yes, motion carries. Number 8, road district warrants for approval for payment tonight. I'm gonna make a motion for $393,856.86, which excludes Geske.
11,700.
Yes, sir.
What do you need, a motion?
Motion. No, I just made a motion. I need a second,
Second.
please. Comments, questions? on the road district bills.
We talked about how the road district can't buy, own, or maintain a park in the state of Illinois through the way that the taxation is. There's additional costs in here again this month for Condon doing storm sewer as-built on Wagner Road and associated permit stuff. And then there's also a bill in here for Mr. Kelly for work on that and Steuben Woods parking lot. I'm not gonna individually pull them out, but I want them noted that, once again, we're paying for maintenance or work to be done on parks that the road district is not allowed to do. Once again, here's another bill for Sal's, which I thought we agreed we were gonna pay him.
That, we agreed what?
Didn't we agree we were gonna pay him?
Yes.
We
Okay,
did.
there's another bill for him.
Oh, but it was only,
Continues,
well, right, it was the last month's mowing, right?
right, beyond our last vote, that we wouldn't do it again.
I don't think, we didn't say,
I don't,
I don't think we said we
I don't
were
recall.
gonna.
Then there's another one, there's another bill for park work that the township has to pay for that we shouldn't be paying for. I'm not gonna individually pull it out, but I'm going to say that it's out there.
anything else? When you are ready?
Mike Regalic,
Yes.
Karen Tynan,
Yes.
Rob Parrish,
Yes.
Rita Drain.
Yes, motion carries. So then I'd like to make a second motion to approve 11,000 along for the road district warrants, $11,700.01 for Geske and Sons.
Second.
Comments, discussions?
Just so the public knows that I work for Geske and Sons, I get no compensation by the amount of materials that are sold to the township, road district. Just that, through mere appearance, I prefer to have it pulled out individually and we vote on it individually. I'll abstain from it just so that you understand, do I think they should be paid? Sure. Should I have anything to do with voting yes or no? I believe it'll go through, so I'll abstain. So it happens monthly.
When you are ready?
Rob Parrish,
Abstain.
Karen Tynan,
Yes.
Mike Regalic.
Yes.
Rita Drain.
Yes, motion carries. Number 9, discussion and approval of posting the 25-26 annual tax levy for all township funds, including town, general assistance, cemetery, road and bridge, permanent hard road, IRMF, insurance, and social security. This is for posting.
Make a motion that we post as what we approve,
We're not approving anything yet.
what we discussed to be the number.
We haven't discussed the number yet.
Please word it the way you want to say it, and I'll second it.
No, I just want to be clear.
Okay?
We're just posting as presented.
Do you
This is
need
the
to
first
vote
time.
on it?
What?
Do you need to vote on it?
Yeah.
To post.
No, we don't need to vote on it, we just need to,
You should vote on it, so that.
It says approval.
okay. Any other
Is it
questions?
posted in the paper, or where is it?
No, just be posted on the website
So you don't
and
have
then
to
the
have,
board.
yeah, you don't have to have a public hearing if you don't, and those black box notices that you see, unless you go over 105% of your last, tax levy, and I believe this is not.
No, they are all flat.
So,
If we go over 5%, then we would need to have a
if you have,
special.
yeah, if you have more than.
Well, I stand corrected, the cemeteries is not flat, it's a 3% increase, which is
Under the
$800.
Yeah, but that's not gonna come
No,
close.
or a 4% increase, I'm sorry.
Yes, so if your entire levy was over 5% more than it was for the past, this current year, then you'd have to have the black box notice and have a public hearing on it. But since you're not doing that, you don't need a public hearing, you just put it on the agenda and it can be approved or disapproved at the next meeting.
Okay.
But you do have to decide ahead of time what the amount is, and that's what you're doing it here, and you have to wait 20 days.
We are within our 20 days.
And make it for the next meeting.
So whenever you are ready, Joni, please.
A second, I don't believe. Hey, Rob,
I'll second.
Mike,
I'm sorry, Joni, I didn't hear you. No, it was good, you're good. I got it.
Karen Titus.
Yes.
Mike Regala.
Yes.
Rob Parrish.
Yes.
Rita Drain.
Yes, motion carries. Number 10, discussion and approval of resolution 11-14-2401, setting salaries of elected officials for 5/19/25 through the third Monday in May 29.
You just made the motion? Or you just?
I just made this
Well, you really,
discussion.
yeah, you should discuss it before you make a motion here, because the draft resolution just has blanks.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, so do you need a second?
I think you should.
We don't have a motion yet.
Yeah, why don't you
We don't have
discuss
an
it?
amount.
Right, we need
Oh,
to discuss
just,
it, right?
we'll just do
Start
discussion
with
and.
discussion, because there's nothing to move to approve. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so how did we ended it the last meeting?
Wide open.
Well, I thought we talked about 3.79%.
3.79% is what we discussed at the last meeting.
With
We
the,
discussed leaving the trustees as is.
right,
Clerk at 14.5. And the rest open. Well, we did 3.79%.
And the 3.79% is straight in the first year, and that number holds, or your 3.79% per year,
Per each year.
each year additional 3.79%.
Right. That's what I understood we talked about at the last meeting.
That's correct, yeah.
That's a little steep for me.
what was the CPI average? I didn't bring my last.
This year it was 3.4.
Well, I think where it came with that 3.79, that was the average over the last 8 years.
But we've held the salaries longer than 8 years, right? We've held them 10 or 12.
Well, the last four, they were flat, except the assessor went up slightly. And I think the prior term was 1%.
Yeah, we didn't do ourselves any favors, I guess, holding them that long, you know?
Why? Do you say that?
No, I mean, I think it's good, but now we didn't anticipate inflation would go up so much, and then just trying to keep up and make the position lucrative to anyone else that wants to apply, you know? You kinda gotta keep up with the times, it's just kinda like.
Right,
everything.
what it is every 4 years, we put a help wanted sign up.
Yeah.
And we say, this is what the salary's gonna be, this is what we believe the job will entail.
Run or
Choose
not.
whether you wanna run or not. I mean,
Right.
The open market's out there, you can go anywhere else.
Yeah,
If you think that you deserve more for the work that you do. But if you choose to do far more, change the scope of work that the township requires from you, that's your problem. You know? I mean, we've got into a lot of different industries that we shouldn't be in. I mean, I pushed Mark's salary boost last time because Mark didn't replace the assistant deputy. He was doing everything himself and working Saturdays and Sundays. And we bumped Joni's up because Joni had a different type of election cycle that was coming through that she needed to spend extra time on.
yeah.
Other than the park, what else is the road commissioner doing that's not part of the normal scope of work, I guess?
Far beyond maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, like improvements, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the 4%. I think that's, after 8 years, I think they deserve something.
But you're talking about the person, you're not talking about the position.
I'm talking about the position. I think it's slightly undervalued.
Right.
He's got a big
I
crew.
just think
He's got
I think
big crew, a lot of
4% per
machines.
year is too much, personally. I mean, if you wanted to go 5 and 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 3 times in a row, I'd be closer to that. Or start with a lower number.
Yeah, I mean, how much does that change the overall?
No.
I would like to make the salary increases based on how many meetings you come to.
I don't think we can do that, though,
And you-
because he's
Why
not,
not? You're paid $132 every time you show up.
if I show up,
Correct.
yeah, but under the statute, he's not required to be here, so.
I understand that. But you could also put a stipend in his salary that says, we'll pay you $600 for every meeting you show up to. I mean, that's an $8,000 raise for the 14 meetings that he's required to come to, or should be coming to, budget hearings, annual town meeting, monthly meetings. I mean, we've been in meetings here before where there's been this many people here complaining about things that he was doing, and we have no answers. And we have bills here that he should be accountable for, he doesn't come to. I mean, the Algonquin Road Commissioner used to go to the meetings, right? And you'd answer every question. I mean, it's not right to push a bill through if we don't get an answer. And I have had problems with it from day one, and I'll say that.
I'm just letting you do it as your basket.
Yeah. So it's, you know. I think it's still a little light.
What was,
Not crazy light though, maybe we do 5 and 2.5%.
5 and 2.5 gets it $12,630 raise for the road commissioner, $11,152 for the assessor, and $10,035 for the supervisor. Those are the first numbers I ran. I thought they were a little high.
Oh, see, how did you know that so quick?
Rain Man,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, on the top of your head.
right there, Mike, and
Okay, all right. What were those numbers again? You wrote it back?
yeah,
At 5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 would be $10,035 for the supervisor.
Okay.
Total aggregate raise
at the end of
Okay.
40.
by the end of 4 years.
Okay.
The assessor would be 11,152, and the highway commissioner would be 12,630. I mean, when you're thinking about these raises, you're also thinking about the fact that the road district commissioner gets a truck, cell phone, Wall Street Journal subscription, XM subscription, and, what else is he got? DirecTV subscriptions all paid for his compensation.
So what,
That hurts.
when you just ran those, Rob, what did you say it was? It was 5% the first year, and then was it 1.5 or 2.5?
2.5, he had ran 1.5.
Yeah, I ran one up and then, yeah, I said.
But I wasn't saying, I was saying 1.5.
Right,
Because I know what these numbers
and
are.
that's why I said, why don't we look at 5 and 2.5?
Yeah.
Right, to move forward.
Also, if you pay him $500 a meeting, that's $7,000 a year.
$500 per meeting
Show up.
to show up.
Correct.
Okay.
If you don't show up, then you forego the money.
And that's not part of the thing now, that's what you're
No, but
proposing?
you're saying we're setting salaries, you can set the salary schedule however you want it. If you
Okay.
wanna do it in a one lump sum for every year, or if you wanna do, an amortization of 2.5% annually increase.
Yeah.
Or you can say, you know what, show up to the meeting, we'll pay you.
Okay.
I mean, it isn't fair to the public nor us not being here. I mean, you've been here 3 times,
Yeah, I think.
4 times?
Yeah,
That's more than he's been here in 3 years.
yeah. And I can't speak to why he was or wasn't here, I don't know.
It's not accountability.
Yeah,
I mean, when I ask you a question, you're right there, you answer, we come to an agreement.
Yeah.
We're communicating.
yeah.
Can I add this?
5%, 2%, and $500 a meeting?
And $500 a meeting?
No?
That's $7,000 a year more.
Yeah.
Any reason we can't, Mr. Puma?
You can set the salary and then set the.
So the way, doing it the way Rob does it, and you run those numbers, it comes up to $33,818. And giving them, oh, never mind, I did it wrong.
Yeah, keep in mind, I didn't use my Excel, so it's all natural.
Well, that'd be, well, I mean.
I know, I'm just saying. Could my math be wrong? Could be, but.
What was the average CPI?
For the last 3.79%.
That was, okay. So that's the only thing I'm kinda worried about is that they don't, it's, you know, it just doesn't really keep up, but.
We all read his letter, what he asked for. A 20% increase and 4% per year.
Well, you can ask for whatever
To
you
right
want.
the ship. He doesn't have a right to ask. I mean, it was almost like it was either or, you know, you guys. I don't think that's right.
Well, I don't
We set a
think-
salary for the job that we think is out there.
Yeah, we can't go back and correct anything, but I also don't think our budget is, what, a little, over $1 million? I mean, we can't
You said it's
perpetuate that,
over?
we can't sustain that.
Right. Eventually, you're gonna have to raise taxes to
Right,
cover this.
yeah, and that's what we always try and avoid.
Right.
I mean, it's coming sooner or later, but the longer we can hold out, the better, I think.
I like the idea.
I
And
think
to be here at the meeting, I mean, that puts some skin in the game, right?
Yeah,
Or some motivation to be
Yeah.
here.
I mean, we just heard the Algonquin Road Commissioner.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so.
Champion would go to all the meetings.
Yeah.
They were heated, but you were there.
Yeah, I think I like the 5%, 2%, and $500 bucks a meeting. So I guess
That's 5%
5%.
salary increase, plus $7,000 a year, plus 2.5 and a 7,000.
2% every year. I did 2, not 2.5.
You did what?
I did 2% instead of, Rob said 1.5, I said 2.5, so just kind of in the middle at 2%. Is there 14 meetings here?
If you count the annual town meeting.
Oh, okay.
And the budget,
Okay,
if we do a workshop or the approval
Yeah.
meeting,
Well, that,
okay,
that's too much for me.
what?
yeah.
Because you think about that, you're just saying $28,000 just for meetings alone.
Over 4 years,
Correct.
yeah. All right, I mean,
So
I'll take
is
some.
that stipend going to the assessor as well?
What's that?
Is that stipend going to the assessor as well?
It doesn't have to,
I mean, he's got one, right?
not for coming to meetings.
Not for coming to meetings, but
Meetings.
there's others, things, yeah.
Because neither position is required to be here.
Well, right. I do agree there's some value in coming here because a lot of what we spend is on the roads. So if there's questions that come up, it would be nice to have questions answered.
Right. Unfortunately, we usually field them.
Right, and then we talk about them next month and there's some value lost there, where is it?
30 days lost.
Right, whereas if we're here, we can discuss
Correct.
it and hammer it out right now.
Correct. That's too much for me.
Okay.
What's too much for you?
To give him 500 per meeting and the 5 and 2 raises.
This would be where he's at.
Yeah.
This is second, third, yeah, this is, first year, second year, third year, and then this would be each year.
Okay, so what are you saying is too much?
Assuming that he comes to all the meetings.
Right. So what were you saying was too much? Huh? Sorry.
All of them, to put it all in one package. Mine was an either or, and he wants to do both.
Oh, yours.
5, 2, and the 500 per meeting.
So in what scenario would you give the per meeting per diem?
Probably 7,000 a year, so that's what, his current salary, 7% of his current salary. I may say just that, show up, you get paid more. I mean, what does he make now?
How do you do
That's
that?
not even coming across the
96.6.
living now.
I don't think so either. How would you do that on payroll? I'm just trying to think, like,
Same way you get paid.
you just,
It's doable. I don't do it, it wouldn't, I'm not doing it, but, there's a way. What's the current stuff?
96, 614, 88.
Yeah, that's like a 7% raise.
In the first year. Or you're saying overall? Not overall, in the first year, yeah.
Oh, it'd be $7,000 every year.
And then get $7,000 a year, assuming that he makes all of the meetings, yeah. Yeah.
Does that incentivize it a little bit?
I think it incentivizes it for anybody that's in that position to come to these meetings,
Right.
right? Whoever's in the position, for sure.
You would hope they'd wanna be here.
I would hope so, yeah. And I think it brings some value to have them here.
Tremendous.
You know,
I mean, good government is good communication, and we all communicate here.
right, oh, I agree. Yes. Yeah.
We wanna ponder that one, and we'll go back to Lita's position, or Mark's position, for the help wanted sign.
so what, do you wanna do something different for each one?
No, not necessarily, I just wanna make sure that we get accountability out of the road district. Whomever it is. Unfortunately, we're late in the game here, because
I
we're
know.
against the wall.
Right,
I
right.
know a lot of the other townships have did this months ago, which is nobody's fault other than, you know, becomes quicker than you think.
Is it the $500 a meeting that you have a problem with?
No, we're just doing both.
Well, I mean, I like the per meeting thing, because again, it's whoever's in the position to come here. So do we keep that 5 and 2 the same and then just reduce the per meeting dollar? Does that get you closer, get us closer?
I'm just trying to get whoever it is in here. I mean, a $7,000 raise is a pretty good nut,
Right,
you know, I'm sure if you told the taxpayers, you know, we're gonna pay him $7,000 to make whoever it is come in here and be accountable to us as his or her salary, you know, they'll probably say, good.
well, of course, yeah, yeah.
Take the accountability price off the percentage. Figure that 7,000 into the percent.
Yeah.
$1,000 to do nothing else.
I think when you start
I
getting
think
too
then we're gonna make
crazy,
it
then it's gonna be complicated for the budget if you try and make it almost like a performance thing, where if you come here, then you get it, if you don't come here, well,
Same way
Was
you're
it-
paid, same way I'm paid, same way
Yeah.
she's paid.
you know.
And tonight you're gonna learn your $132.
Yeah.
Right, Butch?
No, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark should be here also, but he's not. I mean, I know Dennis Jagla used to come, Mark used to come, but then Mark would have differences with topics that were discussed. I mean, I think there should be a monthly report beyond, what is sent to us. I mean, it used to be when there was new housing starts, it was very active in the assessor's office, and there was a lot of explaining to do monthly.
That's why I brought a calculator.
That was
tonight.
smart,
Yeah,
actually.
I was gonna
Think
go
about
through
it.
it, yeah.
I mean, you could do flat rate attendance at 500 for the road commissioner, 250 for the assessor, and then we would have to figure out something for the supervisor's compensated, because she's always here. Or he or she,
She's
whoever.
never missing.
Say that-
Yeah.
Say it one more time?
500 flat per meeting for the road commissioner.
Okay.
$7,000 a year,
Okay,
and that goes up for all 4 years. 250 for the assessor, was that ends as a net 3,000.
okay.
And then we'd have to figure out a percentage, you know, whether it's 2.5 right across all 4 years.
What did you say for the assessor, 300 or 350?
250.
Oh, 250, okay. One didn't get off.
And then just keep it flat, don't do anything out of the gate, or
Yes.
still do the original 5%?
No.
Wait, I can't add and like listen to you guys at the same time.
You're using the wrong hand anyways, would you?
Maybe it's that, I'm using the wrong side of my brain right now.
Right.
So what you said, so don't do the 5% to start?
No,
Then do what did you say?
just straight flat rate for attendance.
Make the meetings a commission thing.
And no raise at all?
It is a net raise,
I know it's a
up to $7,000. Anybody else want $7,000 more a year?
Do the salaries require a unanimous decision or just a popular vote?
Majority.
Agreed.
So here, this may or may not be something, if we did the 5%, and then, on the first year, and then did 0.15% per meeting that you make throughout the year, if you make them all, that adds up to 2%. So that way, however many meetings you make, that will justify what your raise is for the next year. And again, I don't know if that turns into a payroll nightmare thing.
I didn't hear you,
I
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
I heard you, but I didn't understand you. I was busy doing the math.
You said,
500 a meeting ends up being a 7.2% raise.
Okay.
what did you say, Mike?
And I said, instead of making it automatic, make it 5% out of the first year. And then each meeting, you get a 0.15% raise towards the next year. With if you make all 12 meetings, that's gonna equal 2%.
You know, that you could be afflicted with COVID or something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the whole performance thing, showing up thing, you know, so again, so it's skin in the game. And not make it just crazy complicated.
Do you want to borrow Mike's?
No,
No, and you
I
might
thought mine was pretty
excel.
easy.
Yeah.
You want me to pass this?
You know, here's, okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I just.
No.
Like I I said, our shortest meeting's been 8 minutes.
Those seem really,
Right. We ain't hitting that.
really long
No,
ago.
and not tonight, unfortunately, but, you know, this is also a difficult discussion, it's not complicated, but it's, I mean, we have to have it.
Right.
Do I think there should be something? There should be something, but then again, you know, the scope of work really isn't defined for what needs to be done down there,
Right.
other than maintained.
And where I'm coming in late is I just don't understand how 8 years went by with nothing. And so, but that's past, so
Right.
really, that's not even a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean, we need to look at the here and now.
Right.
And figure out what it's worth going. I will say this, I mean, I live in Nunda, the roads are good, the roads are plowed, you know what I mean? I think he does a good job. So, and whoever comes in that position, I'm assuming would do the same or similar job.
That's-
It's a lot of work, it's a lot going on, so where the current salary is, I don't think it's crazy underpaid, but I think it's a little light.
Not 20% and 4% per year.
No, no.
That's crazy.
No.
Well, and
I love that raise too, but.
Yeah,
guess
so would
what?
I.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guess
well,
what?
in the letter, it was explained that we should right the ship, and that's,
I think the
it's not,
ship's,
it's,
yeah, I think the
it's
ship's.
a help wanted sign.
Yeah, yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, what's done is done with the previous years.
Well,
We
right,
can't, yeah.
exactly, you can't change that, so. Oh my god, this is like not what I wanted, man.
You're just used to doing it on your computer.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, so you should have brought Excel in today for all
I
this.
should have,
The projector.
I thought we kinda agreed last. So where are we even at now?
What is the,
Are we talking about all positions, or are we just on highway?
I think we're kinda, definitely in highway,
But I
kinda
think it-
thinking like
I
the same
think
thing
if it
along the
carried
lines for
over-
the assessor.
Yeah, I don't see why it should really be that much different.
But we'd have to figure out something different for the supervisor's position, cause the supervisor, it's mandatory that you're here every, well, not mandatory, but I mean, you run the meeting, or the supervisor runs the meeting.
So we're at 5%.
Well, the last thing that was talked about was 5%, a 5% bump, and then 0.15.
1.5, 1.5, 1.5.
Did you say 1.5 or 0.15?
The 0.15 is what I said is what would be is if he came to the meeting, or if he, maybe the assessor should be here too, right? I mean, I think whoever came to the meeting, we could make it the same across the board, they get 0.15% per meeting, and then that goes into their annual raise, depending on how many meetings they come to. And I get people are sick, vacations, all that stuff, well, we all have lives, so.
all right. Looking at your 3.79, when we first discussed it, just looking at the road commissioner's salary, that'd be a $20,000 bump
Over.
across 4 years.
So 4 years, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. If you did, I don't remember, 1.3 or 3.79 for 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
What I propose with the 500 flat rate per meeting that you attend with no bump is 28,000. So it's an $8,000 even more in 4 years.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, I think that again.
I mean, honestly, if
3.79 compounded over 4 years on the base salary that exists now comes
Yeah.
out to $116,553, which is $19,400 more
Wait,
over 4 years.
I'm sorry.
yeah, say that one more time. You're-
Well, not on Lita's numbers.
It comes out to 112.
Your base salary is 96,614.
Yeah.
So then if just for, you know,
So my plan is even more than that. Mine's,
966, 14%, it's 103.
at 3.79.
Oh, you're saying plus the 3.79?
I'm saying when you proposed 3.79 last time,
Yeah.
is what she was talking about. If you do the 3.79 out of the base salary now over 4 years, I thought it comes out to 116,553. She says it comes out to 112.
You have a copy
It's,
of it?
it's 112 something,
You
yeah,
have a
for sure.
copy of it, the spreadsheet.
Yeah, page
It's in
two.
your packet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on, at the end.
Okay, so my plan is even, what I proposed is even a better benefit.
What did you say was
If we left it at 3.79 like we
I
talked
think
about
it's-
last month.
So actually, it would be,
What?
first, no, that's, yeah, it was that amount, that's it, I think,
This?
yes.
Yeah.
I owned the difference on less than the mark. I'm like 98 cents short of that.
Did you find it?
Yes, 112, 115, 61.
Yeah.
For your total of $38,031.
So what are you proposing, different? Sorry, there's just too much.
I proposed a flat salary with a $500 per meeting stipend, which would net, what did I say, 28,000 additional.
12 meetings, 24,000.
That's 14 meetings a year.
It's almost double. 3.97.
Yeah.
3.79.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's, so it's 28,000 over 4 years.
Right. Yeah, it's a 7.27% salary increase.
Or the position continues to not show up as 3.79%. One or the other.
No.
Yeah, so doing it your way, if we just did a flat 3.79%, it'd be 38,000 over 4 years. Your way is 28,000 over 4 years.
Correct.
Okay.
If you give the 5% raise just right now, just do an initial 5% boost, and then do the monthly meeting thing, that equals 32,829, and that's kind of splitting the difference between the other two.
So you're saying just do 5% now and then keep it steady, but still do a $500 meeting?
Yeah, and that's pretty much in between both of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's absolutely. I like that.
I don't mind that one. I mean,
Yeah.
did you get that, Rob?
5% now,
Right,
and
just,
then also inclusive in the first year is $500 per meeting,
yes.
all the way through the 4-year term.
Yeah, so that's about 5,000 more than your way, but about 6,000 less than the 3.79 every year.
Does that include the 500 per meeting in the first year?
Yes.
Yes. So it's kind of in the middle of both of those. So I don't think we should pick any more numbers, I think we should decide between one of those three. Cause I can't keep,
Karen, I'll be honest, yeah, I like that.
okay. I only calculated that on the highway commissioner, I didn't calculate it on the assessor or supervisor yet, but.
Is the assessor still working Saturdays and Sundays?
Yes.
Is that a mandatory part of the position?
No, that's what it takes to get the job done.
Did he hire a deputy yet?
I think
Does
he's
he?
transitioning, he's got 2 people leaving, they're retiring.
It's like the road district.
Yeah.
2 are retiring?
Next year, yeah.
Uh,
Oh my god, there's 2. You said 14?
Let's talk about the supervisor, when we're kind of, I think we're close on the other.
Right.
Yeah,
The supervisor, there's no stipend in there at all, it's just a straight. I mean, if you're gonna give the road commissioner 5, and if we choose to give the assessor 5 with a stipend, then you start with 5 for the supervisor, and then what's the additional annual increase?
they don't have to hold the same across for all the positions?
No.
No,
No,
okay.
no. Okay, right now, the spreadsheet she sent us has a 3.79 annual increase, which is a net, over 4 years, $30,219.
Right. You're saying for the assessor?
No, I'm talking about supervisor, right?
I'm sorry, the supervisor.
Assessor would be, I would think you would
Yeah.
do the same like you do with the road commissioner.
Right, they're not,
There's an initial catch-up, I mean, maybe that's the same thing you do for the supervisor, you start at 5, give them all 5.
Yeah,
yeah,
Road district and assessor are, come to the meetings, you get paid, she has to be here already, so then the next 3 years are a lesser prorated inflationary increase.
okay,
Right,
right,
we figured that out.
right.
Rather than 4 3.79s, we start with a 5 also for the
Right.
supervisor, and then it'll be whatever the number is, 1.5, 2% or whatever. And that's kind of where I'm going on all 3 of
Wait, so you're saying then have an increase every year after the first year, or
Yeah.
just do?
Well, each one would do 5 to start,
Yeah,
Right.
first year.
right.
Plus, these two come to the meeting, you get a stipend.
Right, right.
Hers would be less a stipend, 5% annual increase, or, I'm sorry, the supervisor, 5% first year annual increase, and then we have to figure out each year after that. Is there
So-
additional
so
cost?
The supervisor wouldn't get a stipend because she has to be, or he has
Correct.
to be here. Okay,
Correct.
so, okay.
Right. And we can incentivize her by, or her or him, shovel sidewalks.
That'd be a hard no for me.
I know, it's a hard no for Lita too.
I didn't even hear ya. I'm trying to process all this and what's the hard no?
You shoveling snow? You shoveling snow?
I'm pretty sure she does it now, but
I do admit, I did see her weed whacking on a Sunday.
yeah.
I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know, I was surprised. Just rolled up on you.
Yeah, you did. I'm like, what?
Who's got the calculator? What if you took the supervisor's salary and you went 5 the first year, and then you went 1.5 the next year, and next year, and next year? I know, I'm sorry.
Can we
My-
can we adjourn for 10 minutes and I'll go get my Excel spreadsheets updated?
I think we're close on the other two, it's just, we gotta figure out for the
Times
supervisor.
5%.
I mean, I do agree that something
So
has to
that would be
happen.
38. So you're saying 5% and then 1.5 each year thereafter.
That's just a number I threw out there, I was curious.
That's what?
That's just a number I threw out there, the additional 1.5. I think the 5 is appropriate for all three.
I just ran it as 2%
But-
before you said it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but one thing is like you're saying, if I'm reading all this right, is for the other two positions, it would be 5% plus the stipend. The supervisor gets robbed of that stipend that first year.
right, but we would go.
If
we're
I'm reading all this right.
Yeah, when I first proposed it, it was just the stipend.
and no 5%. Then we went to the 5% plus the stipend.
Right.
But just
So it's, if it's 5% plus the stipend for the other two, I'm just saying the supervisor is losing that stipend on that first year.
right.
Whoever
What is
that
the
may
number for 5%, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5?
For the supervisor?
Yes.
be.
At
It's
the end?
I
38.
can
Net.
I can tell you at the end I did 5%, 2%, 2%, 2%, and it ends up being 85, 541, 85 at the end of 4 years.
Which is like what, 9,000?
Like 87, 72.
Of course, you're close.
What did you come up with?
I started running mine before.
85.
85, 541, 85.
If you do 5%, then 2 after that?
Yeah, then 2, 2, and 2.
I think so 1.5.
I did, she's running on.
I'd already started running them at 2,
ran
because
two.
I just plugged that number in.
I bet Mike wants his calculator back.
Yeah, don't worry. Multiplier, I think.
Johnny, you're getting a nice break.
Cough medicine.
Take a little nap.
I think she knows what
You can cough.
she recognized that.
So we'll have to do this by motion?
You don't, you don't wanna just leave the supervisor at the 3.79, which is the average CPI over the last 8 years?
What is the net? I'm sorry.
The 4-year net would be 30,219.
As opposed to, what did you tell us the 2% was? 5% plus 2%?
I have way too many numbers here.
And I guess my question is, what value does it have, like, obviously, there's a lot of money spent on the roads, so having the road commissioner here would help with a lot of questions that we have. Having the assessor here, do we have a lot of questions for the assessor? Does it make sense to have him come here on these Thursdays? Or is he gonna be able to have input into these conversations?
Certain times
I
of
don't
the
know.
year, certain times of the year, it would make sense, but not as often as the road
He gives a
commissioner.
monthly report every month. It's
Yeah.
quite detailed.
Do you still get one email to you?
Yeah.
I do not. Is it posted on his thing?
I haven't looked at his website.
I don't get
Okay,
it.
it was just a question, I'm just not sure. So, that's why,
Okay.
He used to have him here, his reports, like two. You
Yeah,
just leave them.
yeah.
If you've ever seen one, like if he posts it, actually, it's worth looking up. He puts out a very detailed report
Does he?
every month.
There's a lot of graphs and pictures.
There's a lot, actually a lot of
Yeah,
information.
no,
Yeah.
no, but when you look in there, like I forget it was 2006 or 7, there was like 0 housing starts. There were no permits out there.
Yeah.
really,
We were
yeah.
dead in the water.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end, yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it comes after 4 years, it's 85, 541, 49.
That's the 5 and 2.
Yeah.
And what was the 3.79 is 89,000 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about 5 and 2.5?
For the
Who's
assessor-
running it?
For the assessor and the supervisor?
Or is it-
No, just we're just on the supervisor.
Wait, just,
Should we like table this and do the trustee stuff and come back?
I think,
I think we'll get there here real quick.
I think we're getting pretty close.
yeah, I think we're pretty close.
So wait,
You want me to run 5 and
I
2.5?
don't think anybody's left yet, so.
We only have to do
Pete
this
just showed
once
up.
every 4 years.
Pete must have heard us from home.
Yeah, this is once every 4 years. Okay, so I'll run that.
Let me put the question out there. 5% for the supervisor, 5% for the assessor, 5% for the road commissioner, 2.5% per year annually for the, 2.5% per year annually for the supervisor's position,
Okay,
$250 a meeting for the assessor, $500 a meeting for the road commissioner,
Okay,
which is,
they all get the original 5%,
yeah.
and then 500 meeting, okay. And 250 meeting for the assessor,
yeah, and then 2.5% over the 2%,
for the super.
which gets you closer to the average 3.79 total that you originally proposed.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, if we were to make a motion, that would be my motion.
Can I just ask a question about the meetings? Is it the regular meetings, the 12 regular meetings that are scheduled, the budget and appropriate, or, you know, the budget and appropriations, workshop or special meeting in the annual town meeting, or is it all special meetings? You haven't,
We could cap it at 14 meetings per year.
I agree.
because,
It's approximately what there are.
yeah,
Right.
because you could have a,
We could end up having a lot of
have a
special
lot
meetings.
of, at the size of have special meetings and then just jacks the price up.
Right.
Probably.
And that
Okay.
doesn't help our budget, so cap it at 14 a year.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cause, yeah, any extra meetings, we go over budget on it.
I didn't hear a word you guys just said.
I can repeat it,
Everyone else agreed, so.
but you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that sound good to you, Mike?
I think so.
Still doing that.
Yeah.
I'm,
We don't need to vote on the final number, aggregate number, just what the intent is.
Right, like the
So,
percentages and
We
the,
shall eventually get there.
Yeah.
With our Excel spreadsheet tomorrow.
by the next meeting.
Yeah. We'll all get an email.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that's fair, and then I think it's just to the taxpayers in the audience, people, the 5 that are watching from home tonight, and us.
You think there's that many?
tonight, yeah.
Usually, no.
Yeah.
It's Butch if he's not here. And it's Bill Bolts, who's on the cemetery
So
board.
it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the supervisor, it comes out to 86,805.97.
So you did 5% plus 2.5, 2.5?
I think I did.
Okay.
Which is $3,000 less than the 3.79 over the.
If you do the 5% to 500.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well, no, 5% and the 2.5.
We're,
We're talking about the assessor?
No, we're talking about the
Or
supervisor.
supervisor, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, we're, splitting
I
hairs.
apologize, but I'm not good on, I've said this before, on my phone. I'm trying.
Okay, but we,
So I
like I
think-
said, we don't have to come up with
So
the
what,
numbers,
what,
we're
I
coming
think
up
what
with
they're
the.
proposing is to agree on the percentages.
Right, but don't we kinda wanna know where that puts us at?
I think we, this side of the room,
Hasn't-
we ran them.
Yeah,
They have a-
What's my problem?
We talk too much and then,
Close. Here, to a vote.
but what did we decide for the clerk?
flat.
So wait, what did we say, 14, a max of 14 meetings?
Yes, a
Yes.
max of 14 meetings.
And that's for the 3 years after.
No, all 4
no,
years.
it's all for all 4 years.
So it's for all 4,
Yeah.
so it's 5% plus the stipend.
Yeah.
Would we be able to do one motion, Scott, over the whole definition?
It's a real
I mean,
answer.
I think we're all, I know, but I think we're all there, it's
That's what I'm
just,
saying, I think you.
I know how to say it. I mean, I could say it.
So-
but-
Yeah.
That puts the assessor at $100,069, so that puts him above the 3.79%.
It shouldn't.
Then what am I doing wrong? If you've got a $3,500 stipend every year plus a 5% increase.
Oh, my phone just does not remember. It does put him over.
The base is 85,304, right?
By a lot.
And that would put the road commissioner after 4 years, 122, 445, 62.
You're saying that
somehow those numbers don't seem.
You guys said, or your math is off. I
Yeah.
mean, I know this isn't public discussion time, but just say the base salary for the assessor is 85,304.
Yeah,
Okay, so 5% is 4265, if my math is correct,
Plus 3,500
plus 3,500. so
is
that's 70
89,
So that's 7765 plus 8,500, so it's 92.
89, 569.20. 85,304 plus 3,500
Plus 4265.
plus 42,65.70.
It's not over 100.
93,069.20.
Yeah,
70.
that's 93,069, that's if he gets his 5% and then the $3,500 a year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So that would be,
3,500 3 years after that.
so he gets 3,500, it doesn't compound, it's just 3,500, it's not 3,500 one year, it's not 7,000 the next year, it's not 10,
Correct.
it's just 3,500
Correct.
For where?
per year.
Right.
times 4 years, that's 14,000.
But you can't add all 4 years into the first
Yeah.
year.
Right.
Right, right.
They're flat after that, so.
That,
Right.
yeah, that 5% of the 250 is less than the 3.79,
Right,
like $6,000.
yeah.
It is, I didn't do it right then either.
So,
85,304 times 5%.
Sounds good.
42,65.20
Future
Yeah.
inflation, right?
8,
plus 3,500
Clerk.
plus 85,304. So the first year, it's 93,069.20,
93,060.
right? First year,
correct.
at 3,500.
No, it'd still be 93,069, it's gonna stay 93,069, it doesn't go up every year.
Yeah.
That's,
And then
it's flat.
adding the stipend,
No, that is with the stipend.
so the proposal is just a 5% increase plus the stipend.
Yeah, there's a 5%
oh,
the
and
first
then
year.
leave it flat?
Leave
Right,
it
yeah,
flat.
it's,
Oh,
Yes. Both road commissioner and assessor would be flat, first year 5%, and with the additional stipends is the only thing.
so the stipend's only for 1 year of meetings?
no, the stipend carries all the years, it's just the 5% they get on the first year, and then the stipends carry throughout the term.
There's no additional percentage
So,
onto the salaries after the first year.
correct.
Just for the assessor
It's
and
just the
for the,
stipend.
just the stipend, for the assessor and the highway commissioner, not for the supervisor, cause
Right.
we can't give you a stipend, or,
So the supervisor, we had talked 5% first year, and then was it 2 or 2?
2.5.
2.5%.
Yeah,
But the
per year.
stipend is the first year with the 5%, right?
yes,
for the assessor.
And the road commissioner.
And the road
Yes.
commissioner,
So
yes.
the first year would be 7,000, and then
and then years 2, 3, and 4, no raise, just
Right,
the
it's just the
stipend.
same, that 93,069 is gonna carry through the term, assuming all the meetings are attended. Right,
Correct.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you for finding value in this.
that would be the first.
Well, again, it's a discussion.
In the old days, they all
I
sat
don't
at one
understand
table
what I'm
together,
doing
the road
wrong.
commissioner, the assessor, everyone was all at one.
Yeah,
Remember, Joni?
So that's the first year,
I
plus
remember.
The
3,500.
Provenzano's?
That would be the second year, plus 3,500.
No, it doesn't increase.
It wasn't healthy government, but it was a lot of
It's
cost.
always gonna be this amount. This is the maximum amount it can be.
Salary per year after that 5%
Salary
increase.
per year is always this, and the 3,500 is always this. It doesn't change. This number doesn't change, this number is in the assessor's control.
Okay.
So the maximum.
Well, so that this is what it would come out to if he came to all the meetings.
Nope, this is what it'll come out to, 93,069.
I didn't do that math, is that what the number is?
Yeah,
That's
It's
the first year.
5% plus.
There's no
yeah,
change.
it's 85,304.
Yeah, there won't be
5% is
3,500 every year.
89,569.
Well, because, so for the first
And then
year,
we add
What am I
the
missing?
$3,500, that gets you to 93,069, and 93,069 carries you all the way.
Right, well, aren't you adding it to that every
no,
year?
no,
No,
cause we already added it.
it's one time,
It's,
one-
so it's not every year you get the stipend.
No,
Yes.
you do get the
Yeah,
salary.
Yes.
every meeting, you get part of it.
You get a salary of 89,569, right? and then you get a stipend of $3,500. And then the second year, you get a salary of $89,569 and a stipend of $3,500.
I used to
The
say
third year,
it was 349.
Right, well, it's the same thing, it's
No, it
the,
isn't.
You said
No.
It never changes. This number never changes. It can't go above this, 93,069.
That's the maximum number. it could
That's
be.
the maximum
This is
it'll
really
ever
good.
be.
I've never seen a stipend for.
I don't, my brain is not, then where, how are you getting that, where's that money going?
No, it's not, Bob.
It's not
This is
there.
how we all get paid.
So they're only getting, it's a one-time thing.
Well, per
It's
year.
different.
You went to all the meetings, I can see your mug right there.
I
every
missed
time.
two in 24 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Light bulb.
So-
You got it?
So does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so it could be less than that.
Well,
Yeah, it
If
could
they
be.
don't
be
go
less
to
if
the
they don't go to
meetings.
the
But for
So it's
budget
gonna be the
purposes,
90
we'll go.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're
It's all
good.
right,
You've
we're
been
cool.
running numbers for weeks. But, so for budget purposes, we would use the full amount, just so that we don't go over.
Yep,
And
For
then
budget
if they miss a
purposes,
meeting.
right,
correct.
I don't see why it's even that much.
It's statutory, it's not mandatory.
I'm so sorry, that just did not,
You got it now?
yes, yes. It's included and I keep adding it,
Right, it's not counted.
yes, got you.
Doesn't change from year to year. So, okay,
I can
I
make
think
a
we
mo-
got it.
I can make a motion.
all right.
You got it written down?
I do.
Slowly.
I will go very softly. Okay, so for the supervisor, I'd like to make a motion that we give a 5% raise the first year. Years 2, 3, and 4 would be 2.5%.
Keep going.
Well, I'm waiting for Joan. You tell me when you're ready, I'll go to the next one. Okay, so for the assessor, we would give a 5% raise for the first year. And then a $250 stipend per meeting each year,
14 meetings.
up to 14. For the road commissioner, a 5% increase the first year, and a $500 monthly meeting stipend, up to 14 meetings, max at 14. And the clerk at, what did we say last time, 14.5?
What did you say, what was it, Mary?
14.5
14.5,
a year.
okay.
And then the trustees.
I think we approved ours last meeting. We're holding the same at
I'd say
150.
2020, we should have given
We're holding
ourselves a
this, and the trustees are 150 per meeting.
And then the supervisor, assessor, and highway would include IRMF and insurance.
Right, as provided in the draft ordinance, and the supervisor is the road district treasurer at $1,000 salary, right?
Yep.
And this,
I need a second. I made the motion, I need a second.
Can you explain the clerk, say it one more time? Why am I not understanding?
The clerk gets an annual salary
Okay,
of 14,500.
okay.
Well, it was, that's just a slight increase, right?
It was, 12.
So, that's a $2,000 raise.
Okay. And that's for the 4 years?
Yep.
I'll second it.
Did you get Mike?
Yes.
Second?
I second.
Do you wanna do a vote?
Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Bob Parrish,
Yes.
Mary Titus.
Yes.
Mike Regalic,
Yes.
Rita Drain,
I'm abstaining. Motion carries. know where my stuff is.
Reports.
Number 11. Reports by supervisor. Santa's coming December 14th.
Are you gonna create like a flyer for that or something, like?
I'll do an email blast, I'm gonna call the paper, add it to the Facebook page. We're gonna have Santa, we're gonna run a movie, have popcorn, and something else, but I don't remember.
Can you just let me know when you post it, and then I can share it to the neighborhood groups that I belong?
Joni, you have anything? Karen, we'll start with you.
I don't really have anything, I don't think.
Are we on new business?
We're in
We're on
reports.
Reports.
Just,
Okay,
Mike,
nothing, no.
Rob?
Nothing right now, thank you.
Number 12, new business. I have new business. Butch and I met over at the park.
with the guy that was in.
Pete,
He's back
Pete
there.
came in late.
Oh, hi. I don't have my glasses on either. So.
Butch has offered his services to bush hog a certain area,
As much as he can get away with.
but it's a complicated piece of land. So the question is, Butch is a one and done.
Yeah, one and done.
Where do we want to take this? We don't have to have an answer right now. I think there's a lot of variables here.
Well, what are our options?
Well, we don't have anything in the budget to maintain the park right now.
Oh,
I mean, Pete walked in after almost 13 years. It's the first time someone's come in.
yeah.
And how much land?
And
are you
again,
looking
thank
at?
you.
Is it like an acre, or is it like,
Oh,
There's more than that.
yeah,
We're talking, we
Yeah.
kinda like talk the center.
I can mow whatever you want mowed, within reason, until tractor sinks. But then once it's mowed, well.
Wait, what did you say about
We're not going to.
I'm sorry, what's,
It's wet.
you said sink?
Yes,
Where you
sink.
don't sink?
Till I get stuck, I'm mowing
Right.
till I get stuck.
Right.
Then we'll pull it out and call it good. But then you have to,
Maintain
once
it.
it's mowed, well, first of all, before it's mowed, is that gonna upset anybody's apple cart? Cause some people might wanna see a nice park out there. I talked to some people, one of my friends remembered his children playing soccer out on that park.
Yeah, he said that too.
However, somebody else might see a tractor going out there and start to run over the cattails and might take exception to that. So I would think we would need to come to some kind of an agreement as the board, maybe with some public input as to what they feel the vision for the park should be. And then,
I did have another neighbor come in about a tree in his backyard that's on that property, and he does not want a park.
Well, it's already a park.
Is it?
or it used to be a park.
Well, once it's a, can you unmake a park? I mean,
This is the third time in the last year that I've been at a meeting where people have said, what's a park? So, just nuts. So it's whatever you wanna call it.
Well, it
and
used to
however
be,
you wanna
it
use
used to
it.
be a lot more open when soccer and flag football played there.
Yeah.
It's not now.
who was maintaining that then?
Pete?
Yeah. I think the
Were you
road
the
district,
maintenance guy out there for a long time? Yeah.
I think, the road district was cutting it more back then,
Where's the park?
up
Right on.
Pleasant,
yeah. right on.
Pleasant Hill, where they keep the
That's
sod,
put
where they
where
keep the
put
mulch.
That big
Yeah,
pile of
behind it.
mulch
Yeah.
in the back.
Why does it need to be mowed? And how long did one?
Well, could we actually, cause we kinda forgot that we owned it, or like, I
Oh,
don't know.
it's-
The township hasn't touched
So to
it.
get mowed, I don't care.
The neighbors were doing it, and it's just become too much, right?
It's very wet.
Yeah.
used to play soccer there.
Is draining it, and I haven't really looked at it close, is draining it somehow an option to get a usable
No,
area?
I don't
Connected to
think
the
so.
sod farm,
no way.
and the
I don't
think
giant
so.
aquifer that runs through it.
So, and it's interesting, so I mean, if we're gonna mow it when it's dry out, but then you get a wet season and it's underwater, and
I contacted the conservation department, to see if they would have any use for that property if we were to give that to them. They went out and looked at it and said it's not close enough in proximity to the trailhead for the path to be utilized. So they said no.
I talked to, Jim Condon's name came up on the original plans.
Right.
And I talked to him for a brief second on what he thought, and he thought I should contact Soil and Water, or Soil and,
Soil and water,
not Soil,
Commission?
there's another, it wasn't Planning and Development
there's a soil and
or
water
Conservation. Yeah, I have to get, he was gonna get me a number.
commission. What?
Well, because it's so wet. I mean, is it a wetland? Is it functional?
Well, that would be a map. So-
I mean, if cattails are growing there, it's probably wet. Right?
Sod grows great there.
No,
Yeah.
can I,
No.
Go ahead,
I
Pete,
know
tell,
the area.
tell us what's going on out there.
the cattails started growing when, nobody opened the, drainage ditch, the main one that I opened already. Okay, with the lawnmower, and, because the reason that we do, is the, swamp grass, that tall thing is coming up everywhere. And, we need to get, once it takes a hold, what happens, birds, do their thing, and it's all over. So we're trying to avoid that swamp grass that, it's very tall. It grows very tall, and it doesn't need, water, just moisture.
A name.
So that's what we're trying to avoid. And,
Something.
no, I mean, I've been out there all the time, even with rain. It doesn't, yeah, sure, it's wet underneath, but you can drive a lawnmower, my other neighbors have the, off-road stuff they do, no problem at all. So, and we do have, I don't know who the neighbor says to leave it alone, but, most of them they tell me we wanna keep it as a park, not the cattails and mosquitoes and, I mean,
Is there a sign?
the main one,
Says park.
that I opened up, the drainage ditch, is, perfect. You're not gonna have any cattails there, because cattails need water, obvious.
It used to.
Are you saying?
And,
So it is a drainage issue?
the other day, there was a
It's a lot of
family,
issue.
a little
Yeah.
kid, with a dog, and they loved it. And they say, thank you for, opening it up, I'll take pictures of how many people go over there, because now it's open, and, I cut that, and I burned it, the swamp grass, because I don't want it to grow. If you go anywhere, you will see this invasive, that was never around. So, we loved it, all our neighbors, the kids grew up. We got new neighbors now, of course, young kids. And, it's, you can,
Was it a part of Don Council's budget when he was maintaining it?
No, it was never his.
No, so it's just getting done.
It's always been the townships. I'm not even 100% if it was, I'm assuming.
there was trails there, they're walking trails, they set
Don
up.
Council's guys used to handle the cutting.
Somebody did.
Yeah, his wife, I think, she
On
knows.
the township.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so not a
yes, it was
township.
never, it was never an outside expense.
I understand, I'm just
The
curious.
subdivision guy, when we bought the houses, that was gonna
Did
be
you
a
ever
park,
ask him
So
if
did
he
Nunda
goes over and
Township
do it?
stop maintaining it when?
They had a fight, when they had a fight with,
Yeah, that I can-
he hired his wife or something, and then they, everybody was going,
Well, part of the problem too is the equipment kept getting stuck in there, it got too wet.
But that's a drainage issue.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But
issues in there.
Well-
it's like floodplain over there, because it's the sod farm and the,
Sure,
There's,
I know
you
the
can
area
see.
well.
well, again, the
Sink.
wolf, thing over here, that's the same, and they, and they're making money. Prairie Grove is making tons of money off of this,
Butch, what do you think? You were walking through it with
I-
me.
It's wet.
Yeah, well, it was dry for a long time, It was dry, for,
May I speak?
yes.
Okay, thank you. It is wet. It would probably require some kind of drainage to if we were to cut it back and make it an athletic field of some sort, it would probably require some kind of drainage. I know, I worked for the sod farm for many, many years. And we used to routinely clean out the ditches and open.
There you go, yes. Thank you.
Clean out the ditches and open the culverts up to make sure it continued to drain. I don't know who would be responsible for that now that it's a park.
It was over the
It's
park.
township, it's a township.
Yeah,
So homeowner association, anything would be any part of it.
That's what we're
No,
thinking,
it's
all the
township,
neighbors and
it's
the
township
property
property.
work together.
It's
to,
township property.
And,
I could mow it. I could get in there and mow it, and then it's kinda like,
About the bills that we're getting paid for a park, and the township's not supposed to be involved in the park, and now the township.
which is why I volunteered. to mow.
Township
The
can,
township.
road district cannot.
The township can have a park.
And I
Thank you.
volunteered.
This is
I
a
vol-
resident
I
that's willing to
volunteered.
cut it on his own for no money.
Once,
You don't wanna get paid to do it?
it's a one and
Yes, I
done.
was volunteering.
One,
Yeah,
one,
one
time.
time.
I lived right up the road, I figured I'd
yeah,
get out.
after you
It
cut
sounds
it,
like a
the neighbors will
community
get maintained, maintained it.
I mean,
We maintained it all, for 30, 40 years already, we maintained those.
I think we need to continue discussion as a later date.
I would say maybe
We
table this, I'd actually like to go there and look at it, just so I can have some, like, so I can have a little bit more knowledge on the
I'm
subject,
gonna
because
call
I
that-
haven't been out there, so I don't know.
I'm gonna call the department,
How many
Condon,
parks
told
in
me to
Nunda
call.
Township need attention?
I'm sorry,
How many parks in Nunda Township need attention?
that's our only park.
Oh, okay.
But there's currently not anything budgeted for that park.
Right. It was given to us by Brittany Builders when they developed the springs, right, Pete, in your cul-de-sac?
Yeah, the Brittany went and promised us we were gonna have a park, and it started out a nice park, you know, but they never put the, you know, all this stuff they promised us,
Right.
and,
But that was promises by a builder who
the
was.
builder, yeah,
who
the
was
Brittany
getting-
builder that built
right,
all the
who was-
subdivision.
Right,
Turned it over to the township.
And
turned it over to the township because it was unbuildable land.
Right.
You don't think the Brittany guys,
Well,
the land
it
brothers
wasn't
would have,
supposed to be buildable, it was supposed to be a park.
No,
I understand that.
because it wasn't buildable.
It's not buildable, that's why it was donated to the township.
Yeah, you know,
Right,
the guy's
okay.
smart, of
Right,
course he's not gonna
right,
use
right, but now we-
a good land to give you a park, he just,
I understand that, but we're coming in late to the game and you're asking us to find funds out of a very tight budget to maintain it.
yeah. The
For
only thing,
how many houses? 8, 10?
eight homes in that area, but the other day, another family came from the other side and he loved it, you know. He was uncomfortable to go through, if the gentleman will mow just, where the drainage ditch, both sides, they will open it up, there's no more cattails over there, it's,
But
look.
it's the maintenance.
Let's
and that we
welcome
have to-
Butch doing the mowing in there for us,
Yeah.
grass, that'd be
Yeah,
great. And
thank
then
you.
we'll assess this at a later date,
Yeah.
maybe towards
Yeah,
spring, with the next board that's in here, and then they can make that decision of what's
I
gonna
think
happen.
that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
I think that's, yeah.
We did it for 40 years, we cut all the walking
I'm
trails.
aware of that, and I thank you for it.
And I never,
But-
actually, I never got stuck, so.
But, do you think it's feasible to do it now or wait till the spring?
After a few days of rain, I would have to go out there and walk it again to see.
Alright, so can we talk again next week?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other new business?
I just had something quick, because people brought, golf cart community, has anybody ever talked about doing golf carts in Nunda?
No.
No?
I talked about Lee a long time
Oh, I
ago.
think Lee did talk about it a long time ago.
Yeah,
I don't think that would fall under us.
I don't know if the township has authority to do that.
No.
I
No, I don't think
can't
so.
remember. I can look if you want, but you'd have,
It's kind of a new thing, it's
There's a
not in the
whole-
code or anything.
Or there's,
Did you get your
it's in the
trustee's
vehicle,
badge yet?
it's in the vehicle code.
no, well,
You get out of everything.
yeah,
Don't
Right,
just
right.
stick it in.
just
Can
stick it
you
on your
check
golf
in
cart.
Not a lot of
well,
time.
Prairie Grove does it, you know, and I was kinda late in the game of getting it inspected, my sticker number is 4. So I'm guessing there's not a lot of people do it, but I mean, there's
Gotta
a,
look into it.
okay, yeah, there's a lot of golf cart communities, and I've actually had 2 different Nunda residents ask me about it, so I just figured I'd bring it up.
Any other new business?
Does the county, I thought the county had an ordinance on golf carts.
In our ordinances, no.
Yeah, counties no, but Prairie Grove is yes.
Yeah, Prairie Grove
So,
has
so
it.
my recollection is only municipalities can do it, but then there's issues with crossing roads and stuff, so I have to look at the.
Right, you can't cross like 31
Size
or
tall.
Green Street.
The speed limit has to be 35 or under, I thought.
Oh, you're looking right now.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know.
I think I read Prairie Grove's rules.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe if you spend a
We'll
minute
look
looking
it
into it, I just.
Any other new business? Number 13, any old business?
What handyman work is being done in the supervisor's office right now, anything?
He
What's
just
done?
finished the moldy, the rotted side on the one side. We had an issue with the ceiling in my office, all from the front to the back. There was dripping condensation, so, excuse me, he had to go in there and put insulation in. It was weird.
Did you recognize that you used to have ice dams or anything on that thing?
No, there hasn't been. The first very cold night, there's not a lot of circulation in there. It's like humid in there. And the door's always kind of dewy, but the whole wall, all the way to the back, to the bathroom, and it was dripping at some point. So I have pictures of it if you want to see later. So he went up in the attic and there was no insulation on that side of the building. So he stuffed insulation in there and it seems to have done it, taken care of
It
it.
sounds like you need some soffit vents in there to get circulation to flow along the top.
I thought I
We
saw
put
that on the
bill. We're leaving the fan on right now.
The roof fan?
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's helping too, and he got rid of the rotted siding on the side. The next thing is some painting in the assessor's office. And, I think that's kinda it for right now.
Do you remember what was our total allocation for capital improvements, like 25,000 for this year on all three buildings?
Our budget,
Yeah.
it's 100,000.
For capital improvements?
Well, because didn't we do part of the parking lot this year?
No, that was last year. We just left it open for our catastrophes. I think that'll be lowered in the next budget. And we're not close to that. Actually, I'll tell you right now. Yeah, we have 100,000 budgeted, we're at 23,000.
Well, before we set the budget,
I'm sorry?
before we set the budget, like, do you have kind of like a running list of the projects you wanna get done?
There's not a whole lot left. There's, the assessor's office needs some work.
What about the
And-
stairs?
Yeah, the stairs.
Oh, yeah, the stairs on in, what are we on, old business?
Yes.
I have the permit for the stairs.
Yay.
The prints were done, obviously. I talked to Covers. He hasn't given me an
A date.
update. He said it wouldn't be much. He said they're swamped. We're at least 3 weeks out. And he'll do the
That might
best
be
he
approaching
can.
too late.
What did we find out about the demo? Was the demo included?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because we had talked about that
Yeah.
cost. Okay.
The only thing I don't know is that cold.
That winter
Winter
service
measures.
started.
The winter, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was gonna send me, he said he's just swamped.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing that up. I
I
forgot.
think if it gets too cold though, we probably wanna wait, right? I mean, we wanna pour it when it's,
Well, Karen said the
It's
price
gotta be
of concrete's
32
going
and
up in
rising.
January.
But January will
but
have
if
another
the
price
ground
increase.
is, if the ground is frozen, I mean, I don't think we wanna pour on frozen ground, right?
Right.
Didn't you say they could put like a tent out there or something?
They could blanket it.
Yeah, they could blanket it.
So I'm just waiting to hear back from them again.
Let's see, you may have something after Thanksgiving that breaks and he has the weather and the time and stuff it in there.
It was 70 March of this year, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
We're gonna
It's
have to play it by
possible.
ear.
it's possible, yeah.
They did the permit really quick, which was great.
Yeah, no kidding.
Alright, number 4, any other old business? I'm sorry. Number 14, any public comment, 3 minutes. Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn to go into executive session for the purpose of selecting a person to fill a vacant trustee position.
I'll second.
You're first.
Oh, I'll make a motion,
Well, and I'll second.
sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Rob Parrish,
Yes.
Gary Titus,
Yes.
Mike Regala,
Yes.
Rita Drain.
Yes.
Okay, so anyone that's,
Who's here for the trustee, cause I don't see as many as I have applicants for.
3, 4.
Jordan, Matt, Justin, I'm sorry, I don't know.
My name's David.
David?
Yes.
so we have to send you all outside, and then we go into executive session, and then we'll call you in one at a time.
All right, wait a minute. Justin's here, Matt Dahlman's here,
Yeah,
David Rowley's here, and who else?
Jordan.
Jordan Frank. Okay. So no Michael Vito, no Robert,
Arnie.
Paul,
And,
No, Richard.
Codio.
Richard
Okay,
Argy.
so Richard's not here?
Richard's not
And who
here.
else is not here?
Robert's not here.
Richard's the one we had,
Yes.
Is there a man, there's not a
Is
man?
Matt here?
Matt was here.
Good to
Thank
see
you very much.
Matt was here or is here?
Matt was here, he's in the black hat.
Oh, okay, okay,
Jordan's here, Matt is here.
okay.
And then is it Michael